Alright everyone, now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, yet again, which is Joe Biden's obvious cognitive impairment. He has a way out from this. Right now, the specter of him having dementia is looming large over most of the U.S. population. Before, a lot of people had cognitive dissonance, other than commentators like myself, and they swore up and down that CNN was right. Joe Biden is perfectly fine. He's capable of holding office. He's capable of seeking re-election. There's no problems there. He's just got a stutter and falls down every other day, but, when you're old, you get a little bit clumsy. That's not evidence of cognitive decline now, is it? Unfortunately, after the debate, people saw the writing on the wall a little bit more. Polling reflects this, by the way. There is a simple way out for Joe Biden, which is to simply take an independent cognitive test. He was talking to Stephanopoulos on ABC the other day, and this was actually brought up, and he ruled against the concept and said, no, come on, man, I ain't going to do that, basically. There's a reason for that. If Joe Biden takes a cognitive test, an independent one, so even if it's legacy media sponsored, independent physician, non-biased, non-partisan, and he does a good job, so he is cognitively normal, all of this goes away. All of a sudden, all of those people with the cognitive dissonance, they'll snap right back into the Biden camp, and he'll be competitive. The reason he's not going to take such a test, though, is not because of his ego. It's because he can't pass the test. And that's the whole problem. What would this test involve? What is 4 plus 3? Can you take your right index finger and put it on your nose? Can you identify this animal? It might be an elephant, might be an alligator, whatever the hell. Apparently Donald Trump identified the elephant correctly. That's probably more than Joe Biden can do. Can you name the first letter of the English alphabet? And now here's the physical test. Again, can you raise your right hand? And Joe Biden raises his left hand instead, or something like that. Can you stand on one foot for 2 seconds? And things like that. Very, very basic, simplistic things that a 3-year-old could figure out. Name a word that begins with T, or something like that. Scattershot? No, Mr. Biden, no. That starts with an S. Oh, come on, man. That's the whole problem. He wouldn't be able to pass the test. He knows it, and therefore he's unwilling to do it. Now, Donald Trump has offered to take basically a cognitive test at any time. He's like, yes, I can identify an elephant. I do know what 2 plus 2 actually equals. Clearly it equals 5 in the woke world. So, you've got the DEI wiggle room, too. Then Biden's response was fucking hilarious. Look, I have a cognitive test every single day, Biden told ABC's George Stephanopoulos, referring to the tasks he faces daily in the rigorous job. Every day I have that test. Everything I do, not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world. Well, no, you're running a country. You think that you're a globalist, so you believe that you're running the world, but everyone knows that you're not really in charge anyway. The 81-year-old Biden made it through the 22-minute interview without any major blunders. Wow, that's so great. Amazing. Nobody else in the world can do that. That would inflict further damage to his imperiled candidacy, but it appeared unlikely to fully tamp down concerns about his age and fitness for another 4 years and his ability to defeat Donald Trump in November. Again, the other day I analyzed a hit piece that was made, well, fluff piece rather, that was made comparing Joe Biden to Ronald Reagan. And the problem is that there's a false equivalency. Ronald Reagan was not really cognitively impaired when he ran for re-election against Mondale. He was still sharp. They're claiming that about Biden, but they're wrong. He was still capable of answering questions. He clearly knew that 2 plus 2 equaled 5, like DEI tells us, and clearly knew what year it was. Towards the end of his second term, he probably had a bit of dementia, and certainly later on, he was profoundly demented. Joe Biden is going into his re-election bid with the same level of cognitive decline that Ronald Reagan had probably a couple years after he left the fucking presidency, when the Secret Service started secretly putting leaves in his pool because he enjoyed cleaning the fucking pool, and he couldn't remember that he'd already cleaned it, and so he enjoyed it, and so they just decided to humor him. By the way, one of the greatest things about him, the people around him genuinely liked him. With Biden, it seems a little bit different. I think that the people around him genuinely hate him, actually, most of the time. So he made it through a 22-minute interview without any major blunders. This is supposed to calm you down. Joe Biden is perfectly normal mentally. He won't take a cognitive test, but that's just because, come on, man, I take a test every day. No, you don't. It's not the same thing. Being able to converse with other people and hold meetings and do the diplomacy thing that you do poorly anyway, is not quite the same as knowing what 2 plus 2 is. Again, the answer is 5 these days. It's not the same as being able to identify a donkey, identify an alligator, or something like that. It's not the same as being able to take both hands and extend your middle fingers. That's basically my message to the establishment, by the way, on a daily basis. Joe Biden is not cognitively unimpaired. He quite clearly has a problem. He has dementia. He's had it for several years. He's advancing in that dementia. People saw it in front of their own lying eyes, and now we're all being gaslit about it. Watch again the Mondale debate, the Reagan-Mondale debate in 1984. Please try to tell me that Ronald Reagan is as cognitively impaired there as Joe Biden a few days ago. There's no equivalency whatsoever. He's aware. He's actually awake. Also, you can actually hear what he's saying most of the time. Is he a little bit hoarse? Is he a little bit run down? Yeah, but you have had that rigorous job and you're an old man. That's natural. Even Obama, again, in the Colorado debate, the Denver debate, he had altitude sickness and he's only in his fucking 40s and he seems rather haggard against Mitt Romney. That's not evidence of cognitive decline. What we saw here was a person that is sundowning. We saw a person that is sundowning. It's clear as day. I mean, it's clear as crystal. You can't get more obvious, really. There's a way out for Joe Biden. Take a cognitive test, publish it publicly, and tell people, look, I am actually aware. I know what I'm doing. I was tired. You can blame it on this. Yeah, here's what I would do if I was Joe Biden. I'd take the cognitive test and ace it. I mean, he can't, but, if he could. And then I'd come out to the public. I'd make a statement. Look, I took the fucking test. I'm fully fucking aware of things. I was fucking tired. Yes, my voice was hoarse. Yes, I misremembered a few things. Just like W did. You reelected him, right? But he's not going to do that because he can't pass the test. That's the whole point. That's about all. Peace out.